Hi students, in this video we'll be learning how to check the divisibility by composite numbers. What is it that we have already covered? We have covered 3 and 9, we have covered 7, 11 and 13, and we covered powers of 2. So let me strike off 2, 4 and 8. We covered powers of 5 and we covered multiples obtained by multiplying 2 and powers of 2 and 5. So I'm striking off 10. And every number is divisible by 1. Let me strike that also off. So in this set of first 13 numbers we are left with 6 and 12. Alright, let's just quickly go through a few basic concepts before we get into the main part of the video. What are prime numbers? Prime numbers are numbers such as 2, 3, 5, 7, etc. They are numbers that have only 1 and themselves as factors. So for example, 5 has only 5 and 1 as factors. 7 has only 7 and 1 as factors. What are composite numbers? Composite numbers are, for example, take an example 6. What are the factors of 6? 1, 2, 3 and 6. It has more factors than itself and 1. So these are composite numbers. So basically every number which is not a prime number is a composite number, and every composite number you can prime factorize it by writing it as a product of powers of prime factors. Alright, there's one more concept that we need to know. It's the concept of coprimes. Say for example you take two numbers 6 and 25. Both of these numbers are not prime, but they are coprime with respect to each other. Why is that so? Because if you are taking the HCF of 6 and 25, your answer is 1. So both of them have no common factor other than 1. Alright, and one more pointer before we get into the main method. This gives you only, this method that we are discussing here gives you only divisibility. It does not give you the remainder. It just gives you an answer to as yes or no, whether a number is divisible or not. If you want to find the remainder when you divide by a composite number, you need to use a method called Chinese remainder theorem, which will be discussed in a subsequent video. Alright, now suppose we have a number, say let's take 124, and if we want to check whether this number is divisible by 6. Okay, so all you need to do is you need to write 6 as a product of coprime numbers. So here I can write 6 as 2 into 3, and if 124 has to be divisible by 6, then 124 has to be divisible by 2 and 124 has to be divisible by 3. Let's check that. Is 124 divisible by 2? Yes, we know the divisibility rule of 2 is you just need to check the last one digit. 4 is divisible by 2, therefore 124 is divisible by 2. Is 124 divisible by 3? Let's check. We know that the divisibility rule for 3 is the sum of the digits. 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 7. 7 is not divisible by 3, therefore 124 is not divisible by 3. So 124 is not divisible by 6 because it's not divisible by 3. Quick recap. So whenever you want to check the divisibility by any composite number, you need to split it into coprimes. So for example, if you want to check the divisibility by 12, say we are checking whether 124 is divisible by 12, you need to write 12 as 3 into 4, because 3 and 4 you cannot write it as 6 into 2 because 6 and 2 are not coprimes. They have a common factor of 2. You need to write it as 3 into 4, which is as a product of coprimes, and then 124 has to be divisible by 3 as well as divisible by 4 for it to be divisible by 12. We already saw that 124 is not divisible by 3, therefore 124 is not divisible by 12.